everybody, what's happening? Phillip Siddiq here, host Phillip Siddiq Show. Silicon Valley Comic Con, the first annual one, 2016. It was crazy, off the chain, wild. Just on Saturday alone, they had 30,000 people attend. It was crazy crowded. The panels were fantastic. They had the Back to the Future panel. And folks, we had access. We had the golden ticket. We were going to film that panel. It was one of the most popular ones the weekend. But I got sick. Yes, vomited everywhere, couldn't go to the panel. I was disappointed, as I know some of you are. But never fear. We have Stan Lee, Excelsior. Yes, we do have his panel, so sit back, relax. We're going to show you some exclusive clips from the panel for Stan Lee. I mean, if you get an opportunity to see him, you really should take it. He had so much knowledge, so much comedy that he does, and he does not embarrass anyone for asking a question. So that's good for him, Stan Lee. So we'll see you again later in the show.
They see the cameos, obviously. Every time a new movie is starting, the star walks over to me. Stan, how should I handle my role? Because the way you do your cameos, and it's a little embarrassing. They all, I mean, Downey Jr., I call him Bob, you call him Robert, but of course we're like that. So, Bob Downey Jr., I mean, he never stops. Stan, how should I play this scene? How should I play that scene? Am I getting into the iron armor gracefully enough? I give him what pointers I can, but hell, he's got to learn to shift for himself, you know. It's a tough world out there. Hey, if you're listening, only kidding. Bob, the good thing about all of these things is that I don't take responsibility anymore for anything. They call me when they need a cameo. Everything else I read in the paper or I talk to fans. Hey, or Max tells me what's going on. He knows more about it than I do. And I kind of like it that way because now I'm always surprised. I'm like you. I don't know what's coming next. I see it. I enjoy it. Well, I don't enjoy it that much. I usually say I could have done it better, but you know what I mean. When I was a little kid, I used to draw my own comics, but they were just like stick figures. I would draw a horizon line, not vertical, a horizontal line across the page. And then I would draw these very simple little figures running along the horizon, shooting at each other. I was violent even as a kid. You know, the characters were always shooting each other, and they'd fall down. I was so good at drawing characters that fell down. Every page had a dozen characters who were shot and falling down. And what was the question again? My favorite what?
What was the first characters you ever created?
Oh, well, so the first one I created was a little guy when I was about 7 years old on the horizon line, but I know that isn't what you're referring to. So I think the first one, when I started working at Marvel, which then was called Timely, and I was working for Joe Simon and Jack Kirby, who hired me. They were the greatest, let me tell you. Anyway, they asked me at one point to come up with a new character. And I came up with me, it was just getting a name. So I got the name The Destroyer. And I think that was the first one I had ever done. Then I wanted to get something about time travel, a science fiction story. So I did one called Father Time. Although he was called Father Time, he wasn't really a father, he was a young guy. But so those were the two, The Destroyer and Father Time. Neither of them became superstars, although the name The Destroyer, I think we used many years later in our company. Pardon me? He's still involved, that's right. He's still around there destroying things. So those are the two. And as far as I can remember, there may have been more, but that was quite a few years ago. Oh, I don't work with any worst actors because they only hire the best actors, so I'm off the hook there. Now, I've got to tell you, I have such respect for the actors. I don't know a bad one. I really don't. The only one, and it's not his fault. What's the name of the guy again who plays the head of S.H.I.E.L.D., the Colonel? Colonel Fury.
Sam Jackson.
Samuel Jackson.
He's not bad.
He's a friend of mine. He's a wonderful actor, but I think they don't make him tough enough in the movies he's in, or in the television episodes. Yeah. When I wrote Colonel Fury, he was tough as nails, and they make him a little too calm now. I'd like to see him ripping into people and yelling and screaming, like I do. Yeah. But he's a wonderful actor. And I can't think of any actor we've had in any of our movies where I would have said, gee, they shouldn't have used him, they should have gotten somebody else. They're all good. Maybe they're so good because the characters they play, so many of which I had something to do with, are such great characters that you can't not act them well, right? Anybody can play those characters. They're wonderful.